Hello everyone, welcome back to 9 RIP. We're in Sena's route in the Urban Legends Common Route story. I'm not sure why it's red. I hope I don't have to go through this whole route with it saying it's red because I did skip ahead to record the ending theme song only to not use it because it doesn't use all the CGs from the route, as what I found out in Kudaha and Hibiki's. Kudaha only used 2. I think Hibiki had 3. But still, I don't want to make up CGs or try to make them match in any way. So I think I'm just gonna keep them how it is, and I already put that in one of the other videos. But yeah, all of it is red. That's so annoying because I went back to a previous load file too. Let me see if I can start his route over. See if that works. See. Alright, we're back with unread text. I had to delete my save file for this game to get rid of it, only to find out that there was an option to turn it off, which I looked for back in episode 2, I believe, 2 or 3, something really early. But there's an option to turn it off, like right here, change red text color to off. And I even went back and tested it, and it works. So I had to delete my save file for no reason. Well, I'm gonna go back and I'll repopulate my save file with the other 2 routes just so I have all their CGs again and I can get game complete. Also, I think there's something that unlocks after you have all of them anyway. I think. I'm not 100% sure. Anyway, we're not going to see white text lines anymore whenever we have something red, which is good and bad. It's good because I don't like them, and it's bad because whenever I go through both choices, it's not as long as my memory works. I'll know when we've already read stuff before, but in the case of like going through choices for the endings, the stuff I haven't read for a while, it's obvious that it hasn't been read if it's not outlined in white. But the game will stop us anyways whenever I do the skip read function. It'll stop us on unread text even if it's the same color now. But now you guys can't see when I make mistakes. Anyway, okay, so I forgot where. I think she went to her home, and her home is empty, and she's worried about becoming a wraith now. But it looks like she wandered to the school instead. I opened my eyes to see a bed, a medical cabinet, and white curtains. This is not my usual bed. It was the nurse's office at Narimiga High School. As I looked for a place to rest, I came across the school nurse's office.
Ohayo. その様子だとあまり眠れなかったよね。
Yui, good morning. Thanks for showing this place to me.
私の家ではないのだし、お礼は必要ないわ。
This kind of is your home though, isn't it? With that, Yui smiled broadly back at me. We had met here the previous night. I came and sat down here to rest my eyes when I suddenly felt someone's gaze on me. When I opened my eyes and looked around, I saw a pair of eyes staring at me through the curtains that divided the bars. So that's creepy, isn't it? Oh my goodness. The moment our eyes met, I let out a terrified scream. I know I would too. Those eyes belonged to Yui. The way we met was a little frightening, but she turned out to be very friendly, and I was relieved to have someone to talk to.
それよりも、少しは楽になったかしら。
Yeah, a little.
多少でも変わったのならよかったわ。幽霊も睡眠をとれば精神が安定する仕様ならよかったのだけれど。
I know, right? As a rule, ghosts couldn't sleep. At most, they could just lay down and close their eyes. Being awake all the time as thoughts race through your mind doesn't really let your heart or mind rest. I know, that would get on my nerves. I quickly learned how difficult it was to lay flat and attempt to free your mind all night.
あら、あなたのそばに何か落ちている。
It would be interesting seeing her interact with Yui as a ghost instead of a human. Because Yui kept getting on to Kuroha throughout his whole route, saying, "Don't you dare develop feelings for her. She's got to go home." The other half of her paper. I wonder if she, like, finds all the pieces she goes home. Is that what this one's going to be like? Following her gaze, I looked down at the floor to see a piece of paper next to me.
このようなものが落ちているなんて珍しいこともあるのね。
What do you mean, strange?
あなたここの生徒だったのに、保健室のことはまるで知らないのね。
My health is really the only thing that I had going for me. I had only visited the health office a few times before I died.
ここは他の教室とは違って、いつもきれいにしているのよ。保健医の女性がきれい好きなおかげで、塵一つ落ちていないのが常よ。
Oh, now that you mention it, this room is always cleaner than the others.
はあ、私がこの紙を拾えれば、ゴミ箱にポイッとするのに。不自由な体だわ。
Yui squatted down as she spoke, poking the paper with the tip of her finger.
今、紙が動いたわ。
So she's got what? She's got the papers from when she was alive in her backpack, and now she's got the ghost papers in the ghost realm. Really, are you sure it's not your imagination? Ghosts aren't able to interact with the physical world, right? She ignored what I said and reached down to touch the paper, then she picked it up. What? How? She doesn't even know.
何か書いてあるわ。進路希望調査票?
I know, she hasn't even realized what it says yet. This is the time of year where students are feeling this. That makes sense it would be there. But then why is it ripped like that? She forgot everything. On top of that, why was Yui able to pick it up?
あなたが休んでいたそばに落ちていて、幽霊である私が触れられて。
They're going to ponder about this for a long time, aren't they? As she thought about the situation, I couldn't help but get wrapped up in it too. No matter how I thought about it, I couldn't understand why the paper was ripped. As to why Yui was able to interact with it. Okay, no save files, so we're going to say, is it a special paper? Maybe it's some kind of special paper that ghosts are able to touch. Yui simply shook her head in response.
特別は特別だと思うのだけれど、決め手にかけるわね。
Yeah, I guess that's not quite it. I should try and think about this again. No matter how I thought about it, I couldn't understand why the paper was ripped. As to why Yui was able to interact with it. Alright, go back. Oh. Can I try holding it? But I want to go back up and pick it from the beginning. Look, it's in white again. But watch when I go back and do it, it won't be. Yeah, see? As to why Yui was able to interact with it, can I try holding it? Would you mind if I take a look at it? Yui handed me the ripped sheet of paper, and as soon as I touched it, I saw it. Class 2C. Oh. The mall was in there. Why was that? Ah. Countless images flashed before my eyes, and I began to feel dizzy, falling hard onto the floor.
しっかりして、どうしたというの?
I'm fine. I just felt a little dizzy, that's all. What was that?
もしかして、その紙が原因ではなくて? 触れた途端、様子がおかしくなったように見えたわ。
Yes, I think so. What had I just seen? I didn't even know where to begin investigating, but the moment I touched it, a bunch of images started flashing before my eyes. Did you see anything? You didn't see anything, right, Yui?
ええ、ただ拾えただけよ。
So it was only me who saw those images. I looked down at the paper in my hand. Career Path Survey? I had worried a lot about this paper in life, but the images I saw before didn't ring a bell. Well, maybe it was too early to say that definitely. Oh, wait. They were ripped up before she died, right? So she probably forgot about it. Because she doesn't remember the time of her death either. She ran out into the street to catch that piece of paper. That makes more sense why it's not ringing a bell if she forgot. After all, there were still parts of my memory from the day I died that were missing. Yeah, so once she finds them all again, things will be clear. Perhaps the images I saw were memories from the last day alive. Maybe this paper has something to do with my death.
あなたにだけ特別なことが起こったのなら、それはあなたのものだからかもしれないわ。
Belongs to me.
生前に思い入れのあったものなら、幽霊になった後でも触れることができると聞いたことがあるわ。
Could this printout really be mine?
ねえ、よかったら話してくれるかしら。あなたの力になれるかもしれないわ。
Perhaps it was because I was tilting my head inquisitively that she spoke out, though I was grateful for her offer to talk. Actually, there are still some things I don't remember. The accident, my memories, that piece of paper, I told her about all of them. As I spoke, Yui merely listened silently.
あなたの考えだけれど、私も全くの同意見よ。その進路のプリントもそうだけれど、あなたの見た映像も忘れている記憶と関連している可能性があるわね。
Did she visit the mall before she died, though? I don't think she did. Yeah, they must be. I should go to the places I saw right away. Thanks for listening, Yui. You really helped me out.
いいのよ。幽霊同士、助け合っていきましょう。
Ghost friends. Her compassion warmed my heart. I was glad I came here to rest. Had I rested somewhere else, I might never have met Yui. I'm going to head to one of the places I saw in my vision. Maybe that will help me restore my final memories.
頑張ってね。応援しているわ。あ、休むときはここを使ってちょうだい。
Alright, thanks. Anyway, I'll see you later.
いってらっしゃい。
As I waved goodbye to her, I felt overwhelmed with relief that I found a safe place to stay. I've got to do my best to get my memories back. The place where I had my accident, or I should go to my class. Alright, they're both in here, so we're gonna go to class first. I saw this place in my vision too. I walked to my classroom, I checked the clock, and I saw that it was lunchtime. I couldn't see Sayaka and figured that she must be in the cafeteria.
ねえ、一色さんなんだけど、事故現場に佇む姿が目撃されたとか。
She's just hanging out school during school hours now. Was there a ghost sighting of me there today? What? I wasn't really happy to hear that. It seemed my accident was still a big topic of conversation and the room buzzed with rumors. In the midst of all the rumors, I strolled between the rows of desks looking for something to help jog my memory. But there doesn't seem to be anything here. Plus, hearing all the gossip about me is really starting to get to me. I should leave. Disgusted by the baseless rumors, I resolved to leave the classroom when a strange sound entered my ears.
はい、じゃあ今日も続きやっていきますよ。
Sound like Koyo. Why is he in your ear?
サイレントブラッド。多分今日エンディングまでいけるんじゃないかな。
Okay. That voice, those mannerisms. Where? I searched all around the room for the source of the voice. Then I spied some girls in the corner of the classroom watching something on a smartphone.
やっぱ夜空の声癖になる。また配信してくんないかな。
Why does it sound like Koyo?
最後の配信1年くらい前だっけ。亡くなったって噂本当かな。
What does she call him? Yozaro? I'll have to remember that name. Curious, I snuck a peek at the phone from behind the girls. Looks like somebody is streaming a video game, Silent Blood Part 12.
いつも言ってますけど、ゲーム実況の時はコメント消してます。
Oh, how rude.
俺からは見えてるけど、コメント確認してると死ぬのでね。ゲームに集中します。
That makes sense, I guess. That voice sounds like a lot like Koyo.
ゲーム実況も面白いけどさ、怖い話の回とかだと顔出してやってくれるじゃん。 あれの方がいいよね。イケメンだからずっと眺めていられる。
Show us your
で
face.
もさ、だからこその弊害あるよね。夜空の視聴者怖くない？女ばっかりで粘着質なの多いし。
ああね、視聴者の匂わせで炎上しかけた時もあったっけ。
As I listened to the girls talk, I stared at the game that was being played on the phone.
はあ、いいなあ。俺このキャラほんと好きなんだよね。マジ全力で助けてやりたい。ってことで、ここからは集中モード。大きい声出すと喉枯れるわ。俺の喉、この実況でほぼ死亡してる。
If that really is Koyo, that means he used to be a streamer.
なんか寒気しない？エアコン効きすぎ。
Huh? Could it be because of me? I quietly apologized to the girls and decided to take my leave. No, I want to see his face. That's obviously him. It sounds just like him. So, he died over a year ago. His name was different. Why did he change his name? Maybe he doesn't remember his name. Maybe Kuroha named him. Okay, place where I had my accident. We're gonna meet Sena here. My teacher said the accident that ended my life occurred at the intersection near Skuma Shrine. In my vision from before, I had seen the same place. As I listened to the buzz of traffic whirl by, I took a deep breath. I was standing in the very spot where I died. Truthfully, I had been afraid to come here. I didn't even want to look. Even in death, it seems we always look for a way to avoid facing our own demise. But I had to do this. I had to sort out things. And I had to find out the meaning behind the words Sayaka said to me last night. I have to know what happened here. I took a deep breath and turned my gaze to face the intersection. There on the ash-colored asphalt was a large, eerie, dark red stain. What could that be? Before coming here, I thought I'd prepared myself for this, but seeing it there so vividly. Next to the stain were black tire marks indicating someone was trying to stop quickly. I wanted to avert my gaze, if only for a moment. I looked down at my feet and saw... it's still there. That wasn't taken for evidence? You wouldn't think that they would have taken that. It looks like the paper I had picked up in the school nurse's office. Maybe it's the ghost one in the ghost realm. Only she could see it. I went to pick it up and found that I could. Looking closer, it was indeed part of the same paper. Written in the name section was Ishiki. I had written my name on the paper at school a few days before the accident. I held it next to the paper I found in the office. Then at that moment, a light came from my hand and... oh. It was hard to believe it when I put them together. The two pieces became one. I knew it. She's got to put the puzzle together. Why though? Seems kind of silly to me, but it's whatever. Maybe with each piece of paper she gets a fragment of her memory back. It would make it a little less silly. What? What is this? Since becoming a ghost, I had heard so many strange stories and had so many odd experiences. But among all those paranormal experiences, this seemed to be the strangest. But then again, I had a feeling that this sheet was mine. It has your name on it, and you know your name, so why do you think? The hypothesis I had made in the nurse's office turned out to be correct. So it's about my future, huh? I figured since I had died, none of this would matter anymore, but here I was. These thoughts about my future brought two people to mind, Sayaka and my mom. Of the two of them, the one related to my accident was... this is Sayaka. Alright, there's no save, so we're gonna say mom first. Perhaps it's my mom. Among the things I've forgotten, one of them was probably something to do with my mom. For example, maybe the two of us got into a fight about my future and I got upset and just jumped into the street. No, that doesn't feel quite right. Even if I did have a fight with my mom, there's no way I'd throw my life away over it. I should think on this again. These thoughts about my future brought two people to mind, Mom and Sayaka. Of the two, it was Sayaka. Maybe Sayaka. We want to do that from the beginning though, just in case it changes stuff. Alright, Sayaka. Maybe Sayaka. After all, when the two of us talked about my future, she ended up crying. I know she was looking forward to going to Sagan together. And I just changed my plans all of a sudden. It must have really shocked her. So maybe this is all my fault. Because of me, Sayaka totally lost her mind.
ねえ、大丈夫？
Oh, Sena. I turned to face the voice that called out to me and found Sena staring at me with a concerned look on his face. Ah, it's you, Sena.
何があったかわからないけど、早まるのはダメだよ。
Don't do anything rash. Huh?
辛いことがあったのかもしれない。でも、死ぬのは違うから。
Does he really think that she's alive? Well, if live people, women, girls specifically, can see him, then maybe he does think she's alive. Dying.
あれ？君、道路に飛び出そうとしていたんじゃないの？
It's kind of funny that he doesn't know that she's dead. What? No. No, I was just thinking something's over.
はあ、なんだ。よかった。思い詰めたような顔してたから、てっきり。
Seemed he was worried about me and had called out to stop me. But why did he talk about dying? That's kind of weird. Besides, even if I did jump into the street. Just as I spoke, I spied a pair of men in suits walk past us.
ここが事故の現場だな。ええ、つくも神社の神主から通報が入って。
Are they talking about my accident? Then I guess that means they're police. Just then the two of them entered the shrine. This might be my chance to learn more about my accident.
ねえ、どうしたの？
Alright, I've got something I have to take care of. Excuse me.
あ、ちょっと。
Come learn of her demise. I ignored Sena's voice as he called out to me and rushed into the shrine. Just as the two police had said, it seemed the priest was the one who reported the accident.
ですから、一昨日も言ったではありませんか。大きな音が鳴り響いて、急いで前の通りに出たら、もう事故が起きた後だったのです。
通りに出た時、歩道に人はいたでしょう。不審な動きをする人はいませんでしたが、例えばその場から逃げていくような素振りの人とか。
Anyone suspicious?
目の前の惨状に注目していたのですから、他に目をやる暇なんてありませんでしたよ。それに不審者を見ていたらとっくに伝えています。
そうですか。もし何か思い出すことがあったらすぐにご連絡をお願いいたします。それではご協力ありがとうございました。
はい、ご苦労様です。
With that, the police officers took their leave and the priest continued sweeping the premise. It's almost like they expected him to give them some information about a suspicious person. That means it's possible this wasn't an accident but rather an attack. Meaning I didn't run into the street but was pushed. She said she thought she looked both ways, but she wasn't sure at the very end.
私、あなたを事故に遭わせてしまって、本当にごめんなさい。
Sayaka definitely didn't push her.
私があんなことしたからいけなかった。本当にバカなことをしたと思ってる。
Wonder what she did. My vision began to fill with darkness. This wasn't an accident, but an attack. The person who killed me was... Okay, first we're going to say, still don't know for sure, but the correct answer is Sayaka. I'm still not sure what happened, but there's one thing I know for sure. Sayaka has nothing to do with this. I trusted her. That was all the reason I needed. This is the only thing I could do for her now. I don't even think she's involved in this, even though I can't prove it yet. My feelings on this matter wouldn't budge. No, there's just no way. Until I get some definite proof, there's no sense dwelling on it. If I do, I'll end up thinking negative thoughts like yesterday. Gathering my thoughts, I exhaled. There's no point in staying here any longer. I should head elsewhere. Go back to the beginning. We're going to say Sayaka. Sayaka. No, wait. She's my friend. She wouldn't... why am I thinking these scary thoughts? No. No, I've got to stop thinking like this. That's right, I should head to the next place. As I reached the edge of the shrine...
ねえ、やっぱり大丈夫じゃないよね。
I know she's not. Ah! I quickly spun around to find Sena standing right behind me. Don't scare me like that.
あ、ごめんね。僕も神社に用があった。というか、ただお参りに来ただけなんだけどさ。ちょうど君も入っていったから、何してるのかなーって様子見てたら、ブツブツ独り言言ってたから気になって。
Note to self, even as a ghost, don't talk to yourself loudly. I know, because other ghosts will hear you. I was just mulling over some things, same as before.
あんまり思い詰めないでね。今日は時間があるし、君さえ良ければ話を聞くよ。
Aw, that's cute. Seemed like I made him worry again. What should I do? This was the second time he asked me about all of this, and it didn't seem like he was going to take no for an answer. So I have to try and deflect, right? Talk about concerns. Actually, it might be weird to totally deflect. Maybe I should just redirect the conversation. I'm fine, really, but if you're coming here to pray, is there something on your mind, Sena?
ないない。僕は願掛けをしに来たってだけなんだ。
He made it sound so sincere, but he's like, of course not.
世界でも通用するアイドルになれますようにって。それが今の僕の夢だから。
Maybe he doesn't know that he's dead. That's why he's avoiding the girls, even if they wouldn't be able to see him. He gave me the same line last night, but with one obvious difference.
僕まだまだだな。君もファンになるくらいもっと頑張らないと。
You're still trying to increase your fans.
当たり前じゃない。もっと有名になって世界で活躍したいからさ。それが今の僕の夢だよ。
He's gotta know that he's dead, right? I mean, you won't be able to talk to your manager anymore, right? Or actually sing? I don't know. I thought he meant he wanted to become even more famous as an urban legend. Did he mean as an idol? But he's already dead.
あ、なれないって思ってるんでしょ。
Well, that's...
実はね、叶うかどうかは僕も自信がないんだ。でも、叶うように行動している時がすごく楽しいから諦められない。夢を掴んだ時の達成感は何者にも代え難い喜びがあるけど、夢を見続けている間のあのワクワク感も僕にとってはたまらなく心地よくてさ。
Sena's eyes dazzled with the shine of someone who was feeling truly alive. Maybe this is his way of comforting himself after dying. I don't know. If I were to have a dream, I'd love to be that passionate about it. As a ghost, his dream would never come true, and yet I felt envious of him. I feel like just looking at you brings me hope for the future, Sena. I feel like I could do anything. You make me feel braver than I really am.
君の力になれたなら話をそらされた甲斐もあったかな。
That's funny. Saw right through you. He noticed that I tried to change the topic. Sorry, but seriously,
大丈夫。そう言いたいんでしょ。
Yes, but maybe I was just forcing myself to say that. I mean, I don't know if I'm feeling terrible. I guess I'm just nervous. But thanks to your words, I really do feel a lot better, Sena. Thank you. Sena smiled shyly back at me.
今はオフモードだから、アイドルのセナじゃないけど、普通の僕でも力になれて、ほっとしたよ。
Not that I'd seen much of Idol Sena in the past, but I think this version's great too. Actually, classic Sena first, because this is not the correct one. Pretty impressive that regular everyday Sena still makes time for the fans.
ありがとう。でも、君って僕のファンなの？まあこれで僕の良さが伝わっていると思えばいいかな。
Didn't always seem to try and stay positive. I, on the other hand, was still awkward. I opened my mouth to speak to him again. What's wrong with you? From a short distance away, the priest turned his attention to us.
あ、僕はもう行くね。ここにセナがいるってバレたら、神社に迷惑がかかっちゃうかもしれないから。
I wonder, maybe he faked his death. Maybe he really is alive. I don't know. Let's go back up to the top and do the other version. Alright, I think this version's great too. Actually, I think the normal everyday Sena is pretty wonderful too. Aww.
すごい褒め言葉。嬉しすぎて。照れちゃうな。
He's so cute. I like him much better than Koyo.
ねえ。よかったら。
Just as Sena began to speak. What were you going to say? Dang it. Grandpa, you ruined it. From a short distance away, the priest turned his attention to us.
あ、僕はもう行くね。ここにセナがいるってバレたら、神社に迷惑がかかっちゃうかもしれないから。
I'm so confused. Without waiting for my reply, Sena left the shrine in a hurry. Why would it cause a problem for the shrine?
この辺りか。
Ah. Before I realized it, the priest was standing right next to me.
何やらここで気配を感じたが。
Can you sense ghosts? This music. Can you see me? Seeing as he was a priest, maybe he was also a little psychic? Please listen to me. I'm a ghost and...
よし、ものは試しじゃ。
I'm gonna try to purify the air. As if to introduce himself to me, he straightened his posture and bowed deeply. Then from his mouth escaped a cheerful prayer of praise.
ああ、かけまくも賢き。
Once the priest finished his prayer, he nodded to himself with satisfaction.
あ、気のせいじゃな。
You're so strange. Wait a minute. He turned to leave, his feet crunching on the gravel below. All I could do was let my shoulders sag. I'm so curious about Sena. After leaving the shrine in a hurry, I took a quick peek around. It seemed as though that girl was saying something to the priest, but I couldn't hear her. Oh, it looks like the priest is doing some kind of blessing on her. I wonder if he's attempting to exorcise some of her worries away.
相当に重い悩みなのかな。
Perhaps I should have stuck around and listened to her problem instead of running away. But I've already walked away, and it would have been awkward to walk back after that. I gave up and left the shrine. Tell us more. No matter how far I got from the shrine, I couldn't get the girl's face out of my mind. Was I getting too full of myself? It was strange. I'd gone up to talk to her and she treated me like a totally normal person. That was very weird. It was almost as though the two of us had met before. What? What? So he doesn't recognize- wait, what? Is there two Senas? Is there a dead one and a live one? That would be weird, wouldn't it? I don't know if that would be possible. There's a dead and a live Sena. That's so strange. He doesn't remember her from the park.
あの子、初対面だよね。
I feel myself binge reading this, dang it. Either way, there's something about her. Oh shoot, I should have asked for her name. My goodness. If we met before, I'm sure her name would have jogged my memory. I'll have to ask her the next time I see her. Probably not gonna remember her again.
また会えたらだけど。
Certainly hoped I would. I hope she'll be smiling next time I see her. I think a smile would suit her, not that gloom on her face that I saw before. He's so adorable. I'm so curious. It's nearly time to meet Koyo, right? Yes, unfortunately. Although Koyo's story is kind of interesting too. He has a different name. He used to be a streamer, and I don't think he remembers any of that. I think it's almost 1 o'clock. I didn't have a watch, so I checked the clock at the station. It was 5 minutes to 1. Yesterday, Koyo had invited me. No, he forced me to promise I'd meet him here today. I was scared that if I didn't show up, he really would come looking for me. It was sure inconvenient not having a phone to contact him with. Whenever I met with people, I'd always send a text like I'm here or I'll meet you by the stairs. I could send people updates no problem. Guess Ghost didn't get anything like that. As I mulled over my thoughts, I heard footsteps rush towards me.
あ、いたいた。
Hey, your mask is down. Goodness. Hello. Hey. Whoa. What are you doing? He looked like he was in a hurry. Even without a greeting, he grabbed me by the arm and began pulling me. Hang on, what are you doing?
緊急事態。だから急いで。
What? With his hand wrapped firmly around my arm, he continued to drive me to our destination. The beach. We finally arrived at the place with a pleasant sea breeze and a nice view of the ocean. But it wasn't the time to enjoy the breeze.
ああ、やっと着いた。あんた、足遅くない？
Why'd you have to be in a hurry? I thought Ghost didn't get tired. Guess it's too late to improve my exercise habits now. I am pretty glad I'm a ghost. Had I run like that while I was alive, well, I guess I'd be a ghost.
ああ、いたいた。よかった、間に合った。
She? Koyo walked over to a woman who was staring at the ocean leaning on a fence. I quickly followed after him. She put her hands on the fence and stared with vacant eyes at the sea. There was something surreal about the moment, and it made me feel terribly uneasy. Koyo, is that woman...
先月、一人息子をここで亡くした人。高波の日、友達と釣りに来てて、波にさらわれたんだって。
What a terrible story. I understand, but how do you know all of this?
聞いたから、当事者に。
Koyo urged me to turn around. Aw, just a little boy. There stood the ghostly shadow of a boy. Without any explanation, I knew the woman was the boy's mother.
本当は成仏するはずだったのが、心残りができて、うつしおにとどまったんだって。
Something keeping him. Seeing the sad look on the face of the boy staring at his mother, I understood immediately. I turned around to see the woman had begun to climb the fence. No, she's not going to kill herself, is she? As a ghost, I knew there was no way that my words could reach her, but... Wait, don't do this. Even though I knew I couldn't stop her, my hand instinctively reached out for hers. Of course, my hand merely passed effortlessly through hers, and she soon reached the top of the fence. What are we going to do? What can we do?
大丈夫。見てて。ここからが俺の仕事だから。
With that, Koyo took out a phone from his pocket. When he put the phone against his chest, it started to glow, casting an eerie light. Just then, I heard the sound of an incoming call. woman froze. Then she drew out her phone from her pocket, her face contorted with disbelief as she stared at the ocean.
なんなのこの画面。
That reminds me, I got to watch the theme song again because I restarted my game and all, and I couldn't skip it. But whenever Koyo popped up, I saw faintly in the background that it said Mary Mary. So is he the one that does the phone calls to people? And it's the person you want to hear from the most, right? Is it going to be the boy?
もしもし、聞こえますか？
That's a very interesting power of his. Filled with fear, the woman looked around.
気のせい。
気のせいじゃないです。
誰なの？
She didn't put the phone next to her ear, but she could hear Koyo's voice. No, the bigger question is, how could she hear him at all? The living couldn't speak to the dead.
そこ危ないんで、フェンスを乗り越えて戻ってきてくれませんか？そうしたら変わります。直樹くんに。
直樹がそこにいるの？
そっちにはいないんで、戻ってきてください。
But the woman quickly came down from the fence. Thank goodness. Once Koyo saw that the woman had made it to the ground, he stretched his hand to the little boy. The boy hesitated for a moment before taking Koyo's hand. Then...
お母さん。
直樹なの？そこにいるんでしょ？ねえ、お願い、もう一度声を。
先に行くけど、ごめんね。僕、幸せだったよ。
The woman collapsed to the ground and began to sob.
もう時間なんだ。お母さん、生きていて。それが僕の一番の願いだから。わかったわ。ごめんね、直樹。ありがとう。
And as Koyo put the smartphone away and released Naoki's hand, the little boy smiled and faded into the light, drifting away to the sky.
ありがとう、お兄ちゃん。
And just before he vanished, his final words reached us from the breeze.
俺ができるのはここまで。あとはあの人次第。
As he spoke, he stared at the woman. She cried and clung to the smartphone with both hands, pulling it towards her chest. No doubt she held it with the same love she'd hold the one she'd lost if he were here.
お母さん、ちゃんとするわ。ちゃんと立ち直ってみせるから。
It looks like she's going to be okay. This was the job Koyo was talking about, connecting the living with the voices of the dead. Where did I hear about that before?
幸せのメリーさんが届けてくれるのは、今は亡き大切な人からのメッセージ。
I wonder if he's going to do this for Misa's mom one day. In his room, maybe. Hey, you're Mary Mary. Remembering the event, I shouted the words and Koyo flashed me a pouty smile.
なんだ、知ってたのかよ。すまんな。
I mean, what a shame. What's that supposed to mean? Like the famous urban legend in this town, right? Well, truth be told, I just only heard about it myself.
それじゃあ説明しなくてもいいか。
Koyo began to walk away as I bombarded him with questions. When I asked him how he got his powers, he merely replied, I just got him. When I asked him how it worked, he replied, I don't know. We bantered back and forth like that all the way back to the station. Maybe because he used to be a streamer, I don't know. So why is it that you have a smartphone? I thought ghosts couldn't hold the physical things. Perhaps because of my persistent questions, Koyo gave me an annoyed glance. Well, you annoyed her yesterday, so... There was a part of me that wanted to know, and a part of me that wanted to get back at him for annoying me so much yesterday. I know I just said that, it's funny.
ほんとしつこい。俺しつこい人嫌いなんだよね。
Not what you said yesterday. Probably because you were the one doing the pestering. Please, you're one to talk. You are the same Koyo that dragged me out here yesterday, right? Yeah, right? He just click his tongue at me.
仕方ないな。
Koyo grumbled to himself and pulled up the smartphone from his pocket.
詳しくはわかんないけど、死んだ後もこれがポケットに入っててさ。電波すら入らない飾りだけど、写真とか動画とか、俺にとって大切なもんがいっぱい詰まってる。もう見ることはできないけど、持っているだけでいい。形だけでもな。
I remember that Yui said we could hold on to things that had meaning for us in life. I guess it's like how I can hold on to the career survey printout. But I wonder if that mysterious power is unique to Koyo. When I tried to touch the printout, a range of strange images flashed in front of my eyes, but only the first time I did it so. Perhaps holding something with meaning to you brings out a power as well. And were you able to use your powers from the start?
いや、違う。助けたい人がいて、その時から。俺の友達死んでるんだけどさ。そいつの家族が、俺も死んで気にかけられなくなった後、さっきの母親みたいに後追いしそうな時があって。なんとか声を届けられないかって焦ってたら、ポケットに入れてたスマホが光ったってわけ。これがなかったら、あいつの家族は死んでたと思う。だから、本当に助かった。
But it seemed that the items we carried had a very special significance. At least that's how it was for Koyo and me. But his powers seemed like something else entirely. Maybe it's something born from Koyo's good intentions. That smartphone is pretty impressive, but the way you use it is even more so. Koyo turned his gaze to the sky.
褒めすぎ。
He stared at the setting sun as the words fell from his mouth, his eyes reflecting the glow of the setting sun. Koyo is... It's very kind, but we're gonna say good person first. You're a pretty good guy, Koyo.
何それ。初対面の俺、嫌なやつだったのかよ。
No, you're just pushy. No, that wasn't what I meant.
まあ、強引でうざかっただろうし、それでいいけど。
Yes, exactly. No, I didn't mean it like that.
冗談だから。ムキになんないで。
I changed my mind. You are a jerk. We both chuckled at each other.
てか、あんたの心残りはどうなった？
About that, I think I found something important, but I still don't know what it means. Alright, it should be far enough. Koyo is very kind. Koyo is a very kind person. Acting as Mary, he must have helped so many people.
なんでニヤニヤしてんの？
Please, I wasn't staring, I was just thinking about you.
は？何それ？
That you're kind. You just don't use your phone for yourself or the people you care about, you use it for others too. His face flushed red as he pretended to pout as he spoke.
暇つぶしにやってるだけ。
That was adorable.
てか、あんたの心残りはどうなった？
About that. It's funny. Looking at both of these, I think he feels more comfortable if he's the one in control of the situation. So, I mean, he can be the pushy and annoying one. He's more comfortable and he's able to face her, I guess. But whenever she's the one, like, in control of the situation, the emotions, he's just like, whatever. And blushes. It looks like he can cope better being the annoying one, being the jerk, than the nice guy. Yes. I don't really feel like that answered his question, but I also didn't feel like I had an answer. I still hadn't sorted out the things for myself yet.
それ大事に持っておいて。あんたにとって意味のあるものだから。今そう感じていなくてもいつかそうなる。必ず。
Yeah, I think you're right. The career path survey pieces, I gently tapped the pocket they were in. This is something that has meaning for me, something very important.
ああ、そうだ。大切な人に伝えたいことがあったら俺に言って。さっきやったようにできるから。
Like Sayaka? The idea sounded very appealing to me. I knew that if I could talk to Sayaka and my family, it would make me feel so much better. But I still didn't feel like I was ready to talk to them yet, so I hesitated. Maybe after I sort things out. I felt as though I wouldn't be able to tell them what I wanted to tell them until I knew the truth about what happened. Noticing his eyes on me, I felt my pulse quicken. I think I'm okay for now.
そう。
Koyo turned his gaze away from me and fell silent. Did I offend him by refusing? What should I do? Should I say something? But I knew I wouldn't change my mind at this moment. Maybe I could just try to change the topic. Oh, I know. What about streaming? It was then that I remembered the video I saw at school that day. This is a total change of topic, but you used to be a streamer, Koyo, like with horror video games.
え、知ってたの？
We found you out. That reaction told me everything I needed to know. That was him. I saw some girls at school today watching a video on their phones. That's how I found out, so I only just figured it out today.
ああ、そういうことか。確かに生前はやってた。ホラーに特化したチャンネル設定で。
You're pretty good. I'm terrible at games like that, so I was really impressed. I couldn't help but stare at the screen as you killed zombie after zombie. And how should I put it? The way you commented through the whole thing, it was so cool. He put his face mask back on. I turned over to look at Koyo and saw he pulled his mask in front of his face. By the way, what's with the mask?
リアルに感想を言われるとか。恥ずかしい。
He's embarrassed. Is he embarrassed? Yes. Thinking that, I couldn't help but think he looked a little cute. You're kinda cute when you get flustered, Koyo. It was looked at her. I spoke honestly and he stopped to stare at me. Then he spoke.
キモ。
Ew. Well, that was a rude response. Whatever. I was just trying to be nice. I'd better head home now.
別に帰ってほしくて言ったわけじゃないから。
Oh, don't be rude. You said ew. How am I supposed to take that?
男に向かって可愛いもどうなの？
Okay, touche. Guys want to be cool. They don't want to be cute. She did say you were pretty cool too. So that's why he's staring at me. Well, I guess it's mutual then. Koyo nodded and pulled his mask down. From now on, when I see him wearing his mask, I'll watch the way I say. Is that his defense mechanism?
てか、ゲームがメインの配信じゃないから。怖い話を視聴者から募集したり、俺自身の体験談とかも紹介してさ。実際に心霊スポットに行って取材するようなこともしてた。
That sounds pretty scary. Weren't you scared?
あるけど、そういう活動をしていくって決めたのは自分だから。
Sounds like a very Koyo rule. But I feel like there's definitely a deeper meaning there.
まあ、マジでヤバそうな場所は避けてたけど。
A really scary place.
配信したらシャレになんないレベル。視聴するだけで呪われそうなやつ。
My mind went wild thinking of what it possibly could be. I feel like this is a side of Koyo I've never seen before.
今度怖い話してあげる。あんたの白い顔が真っ青になるくらいの話。
See, like I said, he likes being the one in control of emotions. I think I'll pass. I'm the type of person that'll believe anything now. As a new ghost, my ability to believe the truth in scary stories was on another level.
幽霊なのに怖いの？
Well, yeah, obviously, right? Scary stuff is scary.
なんだかミサさんって可愛いですね。
Now, is he poking fun at her by using her same line? Does he mean it? And I realized that he was mocking what I said earlier. I huffed. Can't believe that he's rehashing something that was already over. I guess he really didn't like that I called him cute. Anyway, I guess it's time for me to head back.
待って。明日も駅前に昼の1時ね。
Huh? We have to do this again tomorrow. I thought of the work that Koyo was doing was wonderful, but I had my own issues to sort out.
嫌なら来なくていいから。探し出して捕まえるだけだし。
There he goes again. Why are you so pushy?
強引でも何でも、今のあんたは一人にさせられない。
Doesn't want you to become a wraith. Huh? What did he mean by that?
それじゃあ明日ね。
Yeah. He's gone. What did he mean he didn't want me to be alone? I could have chased him down to ask him, but I had someplace else I needed to be. I'm going to head to the park again today. Maybe I could catch Sayaka and try to get her to notice me like yesterday. Maybe I could hear something from her, not just another apology, but the truth. I have a feeling... Oh, after this, I have a feeling that's going to be the end. After parting ways with Misa, I wandered around the city aimlessly. My thoughts shifted back to Misa and her lingering regrets.
今日は空振りか。
I didn't tell her about my married job to try and impress her or anything. I just wanted to show her that she could contact the people she cares about. And yet...
なんで暗い顔になるわけ？
She's not ready to talk to them. A lot of ghosts are able to cross over when they can communicate with family. I guess in her case, that won't be enough to solve the problem.
まあ、頑張らないとな。
Still, if she keeps up with that doom and gloom on her face, she's liable to become a wraith long before she crosses over. At the same time, I can't push her to open up about regrets either. That has its own dangers. I would just have to keep watching over her until she was ready to open up to me. It's the only way I could take responsibility for watching her die. Aww. So he did watch her die. That didn't sound like Koyo's voice at the beginning, because I did re-listen to it, but it could have just been distorted enough that I couldn't hear it. But even as a ghost, what could you have done to, like, not let her die? Don't know. I like Koyo a little bit more now after going through all that banter and stuff. Whenever he's not being obnoxious, he's actually alright. While returning from the station, I had a sneaky suspicion that I was being watched. I turned around to look several times, but only saw the hustle and bustle of kids, students, and workers on their way home. There are so many people around, and yet I feel so scared. It must be my imagination. Then, just as I spoke those words, I felt a tap on my shoulder that made my whole body shudder. Is it Sena paying you back? I turned around to see... Oh.
よかった。触れるってことは幽霊だよね。
Who are you? Yes, I guess so. It turned out to be nothing but a young woman. So you're a ghost too, right?
そうなの。最近ここに来たばっかりで同じ幽霊の人を探してたんだ。
That's a pretty unique outfit, I know, right? A frilly, colorful dress lined with ribbons and pastel-style makeup. If she didn't tell me she was a ghost, I probably would have never guessed.
ねえ、よかったら仲良くしてくれないかな。一人ぼっちで寂しくて。
I guess she just turned into a ghost. Does that mean she's just died? If so, I understood the loneliness she felt. Sure, I like that.
あなたに話しかけてよかった。レイカって呼んでね。あなたはなんて呼んだらいいかな？
If she told me her first name, I guess I could tell her my first name too. Call me Misa.
ミサちゃん、よろしくね。お、敬語はなしにしてくれる？その方が早く仲良くなれるから。
Alright, got it. It's nice to meet you too, Rika. Rika gave me a satisfied smile before taking a step towards me.
その制服、成見ヶ浜高校のだよね。ミサちゃんは幽霊歴は長いの？幽霊のお友達はレイカの他にもいる？ここが地元なのかな？いつも何をして過ごしたりしてる？普段はどこを拠点にしてるの？
Oh my goodness. Oh, now that's a lot of questions to answer.
ごめんね。初めてできたお友達だから少し興奮しちゃった。それで、質問の答えは？
Right. Give me a second. Her lips were curled into a smile, but there was something eerily vacant in her eyes as she stared. She's certainly a strange one. After taking a short breath, I answered Reika's questions in the order that I remembered them. I was a second-year student at Naramiga Hama, and yes, I recently passed away. I wouldn't say I have friends, acquaintances maybe? And in my spare time while at school, What were her other questions? As I thought about it, Reika brought her face closer to mine.
彼氏はいるの？
Did she ask that before? No, she didn't. Without thinking, I shook my head and Reika laughed.
よねー。いないの当たり前だよね。だって幽霊なりたてだしね。
You're so weird. There was something in her reply that seemed oddly happy with that answer. What about you, Reika? Her vacant eyes widened enthusiastically, locking into my gaze.
大好きな彼がいるの。彼、こっちに来ているから後で会いに行くんだけどね。少し緊張しちゃってる。1年ぶりくらいの再会だから。
That means she's not alone. That's good. What does she mean when she said she came to see him? Does that mean she died just to meet him?
だから今ね、サプライズを計画してるの。それを考えるのに大忙し。
I have a feeling she's gonna be an antagonist in this. I see. Well, I'm sure he'll be happy to see you. Probably Sena.
きっと。
Uh-oh. What's that look for? Rika's face suddenly changed, leaving me with a feeling of great unease. I used to think ghosts were scary, like Kudaha, for example. He looked scary. But she was different. There was something dark about her.
ミサちゃんったらおかしいんだ。きっとなんて言葉は必要ないんだから。絶対なの。レイカのこと待っていてくれてるんだから。絶対に喜ぶし、嬉しいし、幸せいっぱいなんだよ。
Yeah, you're right about that. Sorry.
謝らなくていいんだよ。あなたはレイカと彼のことをなんにも知らないんだから。
Right. I don't think I can get along well with this girl. It's funny that she thinks that. Misa's a very honest person. It might be mean, but I felt like the two of us were on totally different wavelengths.
それじゃあレイカ行くね。サプライズの計画しなきゃ。バイバーイ。
Yeah, good luck with that. Bye-bye. After she left, I felt a rush of exhaustion wash over me. That girl's a bit much. I know, right? Even when it comes to ghosts, I guess there are all types of people. The sun had completely set. I didn't think we were going to get to go to the park in this one. Actually, I don't have a CG either. Dang it. It gave way to a starry, cool autumn night sky. It looked like Sayaka's mother walked to Todamaru instead today. It was rare for Sayaka not to walk her dog. Something must have happened, or maybe she was worried about seeing me in the park again and didn't come. She probably feels guilty about what happened, and that's why she doesn't want to see me. But she thought what happened to me was her fault. That's the only reason she'd feel guilty. I felt the darkness spreading deep inside my heart. I shouldn't let my mind go there. I should just head back to the school. Just as I bid goodbye to the empty park, I glanced at the playground nearby. He is there. Yay! I noticed a familiar figure sneaking around behind the equipment, as always. Was I having deja vu, or was I looking at the exact same scene from yesterday? Does he do this every day? Evening, Sena.
はあ、びっくりした。君は昼間に会った子だね。
Huh? There was something off about the way he said, "Girl, I met this afternoon." You met yesterday. Did he forget my name or something?
そういえば自己紹介がまだだったよね。ごめん。あの時は流れで忘れちゃってた。
Okay, so I think that confirms there's not two Senas. But maybe he's stuck in a loop or something, and every day is like the same day for him. That would be awkward, wouldn't it? It's gonna be like 51st dates. Huh? What are you talking about? We did that yesterday, didn't we?
昨日？昨日は都内で仕事だったから成見ヶ浜にはいなかったよ。
What's going on with him?
Misa?
Oh, both of them are here? Oh my goodness. I turned to face the source of the voice and found a confused Koyo staring back at me.
Sena と何してんの？
Oh, do you know Sena? You were just talking.
こうよ。久しぶりだね。
Oh, he doesn't forget him out, I guess. Wait, do these two know each other?
久しぶり。忙しそうにしてるからこっち帰ってきてると思わなかった。てか、ミサといつ知り合ったわけ？
今日の昼間だよ。つくも神社のところで僕から話しかけたのがきっかけでさ。
So he really did forget about us meeting yesterday. But he also said he was in R.I.P yesterday, so...
ああ、そうだ。君の名前をまだ聞いていなかったよね。
It's Misa Ishiki. I thought maybe if I mentioned my name he would remember me, but...
ミサちゃんだね。よろしく。
Am I the one going crazy here? No, that can't be right. I was suddenly starting to question my own sanity.
紅葉も彼女を知っている風だけど、まさか二人につながりがあったなんて。いやー、世間は狭いね。
じいちゃんみたいな言い方するな。てか、ミサと待ち合わせしてたとこだったから。
We didn't. Huh? We didn't have any plans to meet up. Oh no, maybe I really am losing my memory. I felt like I was going crazy.
セナ、悪いけどまた今度。
Don't you dare take her away. I want to talk to Sena. Idiot. With that, Koyo gave Sena a friend's slap on the back.
もう、挨拶にしても強すぎだよ。
Okay, if he could touch him, that means Sena is a ghost.
暇を見つけて連絡するから、今度は偶然じゃなくて、ちゃんと会おう。話したいことたくさんあるんだ。
But he doesn't think he's dead. That's obviously, because ghosts can't call people, right?
うん、わかった。楽しみにしてる。
Is Koyo going to explain this to her? After replying to Sena, Koyo grabbed me by the arm and dragged me away. No.
ミサ、行こ
I don't want to. Right.
ああ、待って。ミサちゃん、紅葉と知り合いなら、また会うかもしれないよね。
Yeah.
それじゃ、また今度だね。その時は、君の笑った顔が見られたらいいな。
It seems like he still remembers that what we talked about this afternoon. Although there were still the aspects of him I didn't understand, it seemed like Sena was a genuinely thoughtful person. I'll be sure to keep all the things you said before in mind, Sena. I thought back to his words at the shrine. It made me feel a little lighter on my feet.
大したことは言ってないけど、 君に響いたのなら嬉しいよ。それじゃ、またね。
Okay, you won't remember. Yes, until then. And that Koyo and I left the dark park behind us. Explain, Koyo. As Koyo and I walked together, I decided to ask him about what was bothering me. I'm sorry if this comes off as rude, but did we have plans to meet?
ああ、ごめん。してないから気にしないで。
Did lie. Oh, thank goodness. I thought I was losing my mind.
ああ言えばセナと自然に別れられると思ってでっち上げただけだから。
Why would you want to do that? Koyo sighed heavily and stared up at the stars, which were dulled from the lights of the city.
あんたにセナのことを話そうと思って。次あいつに会った時、驚かないように。
He's gonna forget again, isn't he? He looked very serious, so I silently waited for him to continue.
セナは自分が死んだって気づいてない。
I knew it. Hearing something so surprising, I stopped. Koyo stopped too, but didn't say a word. How is that even possible? As soon as I asked the question, some things that were bothering me started to become clear. Like how Sena talked about his dream of being known around the world as a famous idol. And yet, ghosts can't interact with people or things. They can't speak to the living. I mean, wouldn't he know something was off right away?
セナは気づけない。生きてると錯覚してるから。あんたはそういうのなかった？幽霊として目覚めた時、生きてるって思い込んでたこと。
Right, that had happened. I had woken up in my room as normal. I talked to Sayaka when she came to my house.
錯覚してると、つかめないものを掴んでいると思い込む。痛覚がないのに痛がってみせる。さっきあいつの背中叩いた時がそうだったでしょ。
But he is dead, so he did feel that, right? Ghosts could touch each other, right? I think? He said ouch, didn't he? Oh, but he shouldn't have felt pain. Maybe that's it. It was the same when I was chasing after Sayaka and fell to the ground. The only reason I found out that I was a ghost was because I heard others talking about it at school. You only notice if you're told. Why don't you just tell him?
伝えたんだよ。何度も。
Yes.
でも、届かない。死んでるって言っても、雑音でも入るのか、聞こえないって言われるだけ。海に突き飛ばしてみたりもしたけど、這い上がってこられて。ものすごい形相だったからめっちゃ怖かったっけ。
He grimaced and let out an exasperated sigh. I had no idea what he was feeling. At first I got the feeling the two of them met after they became ghosts, but that doesn't seem right anymore. Mind if I ask you something? When did you and Sena meet?
子供の時から。
Aww. They were best friends. And now they're ghost friends. He probably doesn't even remember, does he? I felt an agonizing pain in my chest. It sounded like my relationship with Sayaka. Wonder if it was Sena's parents that he saved by giving them a phone call. I know that if the same thing happened to Sayaka, it would drive me crazy just like it did Koyo. Wonder if there's anything we could do. I could barely handle things myself, and there I was trying to fix someone else's problem. That's when I realized. Back when Sena didn't remember me, I ended up doubting myself. I thought I was going crazy. I met Sena yesterday too. But when I met him today...
昨日のこと覚えてないんだろ。
No, he didn't. Koyo merely nodded along.
この状況をどうにかしたくてセナを観察してたんだけどさ。
Well, at least he remembers you from day to day.
毎日同じような行動をとってんの。環境によって細かい部分は違ったりもしてくるけど。
He is stuck in a loop.
多分セナだけループしてるんだと思う。同じ日を繰り返してる。
Yep, it's just like 50 First Dates, except she wasn't dead. She just like, what, hit her head or something and lost her memories, and she doesn't know how long it's been. That's why he didn't remember me. There must be some kind of reason for it.
病気になる前の健康な時を繰り返してるんじゃないかって。俺はそう思ってる。
That's when I remembered. When Sena announced that he was going to take a break, he said that he was sick, but that he was going to get better. But he never did come back. He ended up dying. I thought back on the dream Sena mentioned when we first met. Sena's still chasing his dream to be a world-famous idol. Perhaps he's resetting every day because he's afraid to face the illness he knows is coming.
あいつは死んだことを何よりも悔やんでいる。そうじゃないとセナの身に起きてることの説明がつかない。
He just wants to live. Anyone who died would likely feel the same, but in Sena's case it was even more profound. You want to help him cross over, don't you, Koyo?
そうだけど、あいつを成仏させるのは神様でも無理かもね。
What do you mean by that?
死んだことを悔やんでいる。それが心残りなら、生き返らせない限り成仏しない。
That's a real paradox.
だから神様でも無理って言ったでしょ。
Then that means Sena would have to stay here like this forever. He didn't seem to mind it, but was that really an acceptable way to be?
そんな顔しなくていい。なんとかして俺があいつを成仏させるから。
It's okay, Misa will help, right? He'll start doing different things. Maybe he'll start remembering from day-to-day stuff, get into a different habit, and come to terms that he's actually dead. Koyo?
あんたに話したのは、セナに会っても普通にしててほしいから。きついだろうけど、もしまた会ったら、はじめましてって笑いかけてやって。
You might do it the first time, but this is Sena's route, so eventually it's all going to change. Sure, I could do that, but...
Thank you.
Koyo flashed me a weak smile and then began walking again. I decided to follow him even though I couldn't find the right words to say to him. Eventually she's going to start caring about him and want to say more. Chapter 3! No, I don't have a CG! Dang it. What do I do? It's chapter 3, not even in Sena's route. So if I do like the chapter 2 title screen or whatever, it's going to be a boring CG. I do have 2 CGs from the last one, but I can't really use one that's not in this one. It wouldn't be right. I don't know. I'll have to figure out something. That was a pretty long one too. I was surprised that it went for almost an hour and a half. Now that I know about Sena, I feel less like binging it to get the answers. Still, it is a lot more interesting, I think, than the Ghost Stories was. But let me know what you guys think. If you enjoy, drop a like down below and or subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.